basic things with wire is you need to, for the thing you're going to use the most probably, is wiring up vehicles so they actually work. Like with letters instead of like your normal keys, but without needing to wire them. And I think my Gmod's frozen. Nope, we're good. Yeah. So with the you're going to want to be able to sit in a chair and drive a vehicle with WASD, but you don't want to get out of the chair and the vehicle be flying around everywhere. So you get the advanced pod controller, under wire there, advanced pod controller, select whichever one, doesn't matter, and then click on it with left click, then right click that, right click the chair, and that means that thing there is connected to that chair. But you don't have to place the pod on the chair, you can place it over here, wire it, it'll still the pod will still link. It's just easier to find it when it's on the back of the chair. Anyway, so now from this chair you can pretty much make that chair do anything. So you could grab a thing like this, put it on the side of the chair, and then you grab a wire turret and put it on the front, and then you grab the wire advance tool, wire its fire to this thing's left mouse, and see when I just click normally it doesn't fire, but when you sit in the chair and click it's gonna shoot. So there you go, you can pretty much make a controllable turret just with that. But that's barely controllable. Like you can move it away and it'll still shoot. Like it doesn't have to be near the chair, there's no wireless like perimeter that it needs to be in. It can be as far away as you want, so you could be controlling something way over there or right next to it, you know. Doesn't matter. But yeah, so you can do it with heaps of different things the wire can actually be used for. So what I usually do is for making turrets, I grab wheel, and then you just grab this thing, freeze the wheel so it doesn't get squashed, and then you can just weld the that part to the wheel, and that's pretty much a turret, but it doesn't move when you want it to. So you grab thrusters out of the wire tab up in the top right, and you don't want that much thrust, you probably want like 410. So then you put each of them on the side and unfreeze it, advance that. So this will be your D key to make it go to the right, if you look on your keyboard, and then this will be your A key. And now you've pretty much got a movable turret. Oh, if you unfreeze everything. There you go. Oh, also to do that you hold it with the fizz gun and press reload, and that unfreezes everything, and then you can just freeze the thing you're holding. Anyway, it's really weird. Oh wait, maybe just not enough thrust, I guess? Hold on, let's just try full thrusting action. There you go. Okay. It just might be a little bit heavier than I thought it was. So probably don't even want that much. I don't know, it's hard to say. You gotta fiddle with weight and thrust and all that sort of crap, but you know, that's pretty good. See, that's controllable. I was trying to find videos of turrets that can move in any direction, so you know, like 360. It can turn in a whole 360 as well as vertical, horizontal, like can go up and down and left and right rather than just, you know, left and right, which is a cool turret. If you have like a base that's just got a little slit, you can put it through, kind of like a bunker. Anyway, so that's one of the things. I'll show you the 360 one after, but this is probably one of the most fun things you can do with this, at least in my opinion, that I actually figured out somehow by myself with my very general knowledge of wire. I figured out that you can actually make your own rocket turret really simply. I always thought, you know, rocket turrets were pretty much a pipe dream for anybody who didn't work on wire their entire life, but it's actually surprisingly easy when you look at all the wire tools and then you actually think about their names and think about what their purpose might actually be. It's actually pretty helpful. So the forcer tool, I was like, well, what's a forcer gonna do? It's gonna push things, right? So not sure why this is being so glitchy today, the Q menu, but yeah, you get a wire forcer and you make it force as much as you can. You make the distance whatever the hell you want it, probably more than that, and probably not that much. and a forcer will literally do exactly what you think it would, and it'll push the shit out of things that get in its way. But not people. It doesn't push people. It just pushes fuck me. It just pushes objects and entities and all that shit. But anyway, so you can then after putting a forcer down, which is just in this menu above the wire advance up here, you can wire that thing's force to this mouse 2. Whoop, shit, wrong one. Force this thing's mouse 2. And I probably should rewire that. Nope, we're good. So Alan still shoots. You've got your controllable turret. I might decrease the cost on that shit. Yeah, and then with the wire, this thing, it's good to have the, weirdly enough, so you can get a explosive prop from construction. This is the one best used for the thing I'm making. And then you can put it in and it'll shoot it if you right click, right? If it's unfrozen. But then you have to keep reloading it. And that's kind of like using a super mega, not mega, that's a that's like using a super powered musket pretty much, because it just, you have to keep reloading it, put the bullet back in. You don't want that. So you get what I'm guessing you would know, a prop spawner, but get the wire one so you can make it work with your chair without having, you know, and set the undo delay to maybe like 6 or something, because after a while you want it to undo. You don't want it just sitting around rolling around like a little explosive thing rolling around. You want it to undo itself if it hasn't exploded in enough time. So anyway, wire the spawn to its mouse 2 as well, so it will spawn and fire at the same time, and then you don't need to wire its undo. And the weird thing is even if you get a even if you no collide, oh yeah, you want to weld that to that thing. Even if you no collide the prop spawner, for some reason the bullets still react differently, because the forcer behind it isn't actually, you can't see the laser coming through because it can't make it through the no collided thing, which I think makes the laser not be as strong. So what you need to do is get the fading door tool, which is somewhere around here. Oh wait, yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, with the fading door tool, and then set it to whatever the hell you want, and make it reverse so it starts invisible and becomes solid when you press the button. Make it toggle, so you press it and then it's invisible, and yeah, now you've got a rocket launcher. So that's pretty much the simplest way, and then you can do the same thing with that, what we did here with this one, and make it turn on the spot, and you know, like these are the basic ways that I make most weapons. I've made some pretty cool things just using these basic as things for it. The thing with these sorts of turrets, these are kind of made for stationary. What I've found with putting them on vehicles is, like, imagine this thing not being frozen. This is what it does. It goes, oh, you know, it doesn't move like you would want it to. So you've got to freeze. You've got to have that frozen, right? Or you've got to have most of it frozen. So the way you do that is you grab out of wire, you get a weld constraint, and you click on that. Then you click on whatever you want it to weld to. If you've got a car you want it to weld to, so it doesn't weld to the ground, the car fucks up. You weld it to, you know, that, and then you weld that to that, and I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, and then you can wire this thing's activate to this thing's whatever the hell you want. Let's make it space. So that way, say you've got it, you know, it's moving around stuff. You hold down space and it doesn't move around because it's been welded to this chair over here, which isn't moving, so it can't, you know, it can't mess up. So you know, it can move around like that. Weld, can't move around. Move around, yeah, you get it. So that's one of the cool things with the weld constraint. You can do that with anything. So say you want a helicopter to like sit in a stable position while it like hover sort of, you can just use a weld constraint to be cheap, and it'll just keep it at that one position until you let go of the button, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much the basics for that. To make a 360 turret, it's not very good, and it works pretty shit. But I'll show you some of these ones that I made. So I made a fair few things, but after you get good enough with most of that stuff, you can make some pretty cool weapons. And this is probably one of my favorite ones, just because it's stupid and actually works. But okay, so it's a minigun rocket launcher. It kind of has to have this sort of startup thing for it to work, and eventually it looks like it's just splurting them out, and it is, but it works really well, and it glitches out. As you can see, it drops them sometimes without actually without actually firing them. It just sort of lets them go out. That's if you click too fast, I'm pretty sure. See, if you just click normally like this, but then if you can get it timed enough, you can get them working pretty well. So that's one way. That's something you can do. Yeah, I'm sure this could be, better made, but it doesn't really matter, I don't think. So yeah, then you can make some pretty nifty stuff with it. Well, the main one is just this chair thing. Being able to activate things just by sitting on a chair like this is pretty cool. So work with that. And one last thing that is gonna make things really cool. I found it really awesome. I'll show you it through my what's it called? Through a thing I made the other day. But I'll just show you this quickly. This is like meant to be an accurate catapult. My friend asked me to build it, but it's meant to. You right click to spawn, and it's got 2 lasers there, although the second one is glitching out on this map. And then if you have to time it just right with letting go, but you can hold space and everything freezes. See, it's not moving. And then hold space, and that way you can stop at an accurate spot. And then, ooh, I didn't actually. There we go. See, and then the lasers are just meant to be something that makes it more accurate, or makes it at least look cool. So yeah, there's that thing. Okay, yeah, so the box color, I actually saw something like this, like when I first started using Wire. I found somebody made something, a way better version of this, but this is my version of this thing, which is a box coloring factory pretty much. So it spawns that when you do it right. So this elevator gets activated with the number 1, and you spawn a box, gets thrown onto there, gets lifted up, colored, pushed in, and then held there. That's my thing I made yesterday in about half an hour. And yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's really simple, but it's just kind of something fun that you can do with Wire. And if you got good with the wire hydraulics, which I'm pretty amateur at the moment, you wouldn't even need to, like, you can make this automated and does it all by itself, and you can make this whole thing automated, but I don't really like the wire hydraulics at the moment. So yeah, and you could also make this a random colorer. Like I think you could make it so it could color things randomly. Obviously, yeah. But yeah, so that's just one of the things. Pretty cool, pretty simple, but pretty entertaining just to make. So I wanted just like a little viewing case here. Anyway, so yeah, there's so many things you can build in the game, and well, really, there's just, as you can see, there's just an infinite amount of things that you can make. This is what I wanted to show you. So no, it's not. And now it's glitching out again. Yeah, the thing, as you saw with the box getting held at the end, that's called a grabber. That's a really cool tool actually, because you can set it so when a thing walks past a laser, then it'll set off this grabber, and it can be quite useful if you want to make like a whatever. If you want to make like a what's it called? Like let's say you've got a big space station and you want your spaceships to fly and get grabbed and then move away, you can use this over here as that sort of functionality, and then see, they'll get grabbed, and then you could make this thing, shift over here and place their spaceship in a section until they want it back again. Yeah, that's Wire.